22, I don't think.
Nicky Richardson from Essex, number 22, is the youngest racer here at just 8 years old. But it's his mum, Anne, who feels the pressure of the big event. She's always on edge when he's racing in the cadets class.
And having seen the start, what's it like when you actually go racing and watch Nicky out there?
Petrifying.
It's what, petrifying?
Petrifying, yeah. I get very nervous.
Do you go and watch every race?
Every race.
And what sort of goes through your mind when you're seeing him out there?
I just want him to do well for him. Not for me, not for his dad, just for him.
Poor old mum, more nervous than Nicky out on the track. Well, on to the babies of karting, round 2 of the cadets, open to 8 to 12 years old, all using 60cc Cobra engines, so they have a top speed approaching 55, 60 miles an hour. Very competitive class. Leading the way at the moment, number 19, is James Billington from Preston in Lancashire, but he's having a tremendous size at the front. That's with number 34, Barry Wilkin, the 10-year-old from Milton Keynes. Third place, Chris Blumen, and Nicky Richardson, the 8-year-old, also going well indeed. But at the front, Billington and Wilkin. Billington still leads the way. Wilkin trying to get up the inside of him. He's done it. Wilkin now leads. Wilkin takes the lead. Billington relegated to second. Blumen in third place. That's the leader, Barry Wilkin from Milton Keynes, 10 years old. What a future in front of him. 60cc car, as I said, a top speed around 60 miles an hour, and he's urging every ounce of power from that 60cc Comer engine. Shaking his head, trying to get it to go faster. So Wilkins still leading. A great dice now for second place. Billington still second, but 7 carts now chasing second place. That includes last year's winner, that's Jenson Button, number 2. Oh, and Button in all sorts of problems with Blumen. Button gets his front wheels on the rear of Blumen's cart, and he's relegated down the field. That's number 2. Jenson Button, the 9-year-old from Bath who won the championship last year, but he's knocked down the field, still leading. Wilkin, number 34. Second place, Billington. Poor Jenson Button, but he's back in the pack chasing the leader. And that leader, Barry Wilkin, now opening up a fair old advantage. The far end of the circuit, round that right-hander, then the fastest part of the Clay Pigeon Raceway. This is the battle for second. What a battle it is. James Billington still leading the way. Chris Blumen in there. Jenson Button was in there. And Nicky Richardson, number 22. The 8-year-old, look. He's now up into third place. What a drive by the youngster. The youngest driver in the race. He's up into third spot. Still leading. 34, Barry Wilkin. They're on their last lap. So 900 yards to go for these youngsters. What a race for second place. Billington still holding off Nicky Richardson. That's the gap at the front. Barry Wilkin now surely on his way to victory. But 7 carts still chasing second place. Round 2 of the cadets. Vital points at stake to go on through the heats and then into the final. Wilkin surely going to score maximum points over the start line, down towards Billy's blind. He looks a champion, doesn't he? 10-year-old Barry Wilkin, the checkered flag being ready for him. So Barry Wilkin takes the checkered flag. He wins round 2 of the cadets. In second place after a great race, number 19, James Billington. And in third place, 8-year-old Nicky Richardson. What a start to the cadets, but a victory for number 34, Barry Wilkin.
Barry Wilkin from Milton Keynes taking the honours there and a 25-point maximum. James Billington second, and 8-year-old Nicky Richardson, the youngest driver here, a super third. Yes, Nicky certainly looks to have a bright future.
Well, it's another 4 years.
What it'd be like with 30 others out there, I can't imagine.
But if you had your time again, would you like to really have a go at this?
Without a doubt, yeah.
Derek Bell, and I'm sure many of these young lads in round 3 of the cadets would like to emulate his performances on 4 wheels. That's number 2, Jenson Button, carrying our camera this afternoon, 10 years old, winner of the TVS Super Prix cadet class last year, but only 8th in his first race. Also in this race, number 1 is Daniel Wheldon, 3 times British champion, but the front row of the grid we have Nelson Road, number 24, and 21, Marcus Basley. They're lining up. This is their rolling lap. 5.5 laps of this 900-yard Clay Pigeon Raceway, and they're underway. This is the view from Jenson Button from the back. He's already carving his way through the field. He started from the very back row of this race. Already he's got away from two people. And just look how hard he has the drive. He's passed another one. Great driving from the current TVS Super Prix champion, Jenson Button, the 10-year-old from Bath. But at the front, it's Nelson Rowe leading, the 11-year-old. In second place, Marcus Basley. He's just 1 year old at 12. 24 is Rowe, 21 is Basley. These 60cc karts still capable of 55, 60 miles an hour. We're back with Jenson Button, and he's carving his way through the field. He's overtaking people left, right and centre. Back at the front, he hasn't caught this man, that's Nelson Rowe. Basley still second. Wheldon also coming into the frame. He started way back on the grid. In fact, 10th place, but he's already making his way up towards the leaders, as is this man, Jenson Button. But a great dice now at the front. Rowe still holding on. Basley in second place. In third place now is Wheldon, number 1, and in fourth place Tom Sisley. But Wheldon already making his presence felt in third place. There's Jenson Button in the midst of that crew, going through the hairpin. Rowe still building up an advantage at the front, the 11-year-old. Then a good battle for second. Basley, Wheldon and Sisley. That's Wheldon in the middle of that group, number 1. And he's challenging Basley in front of him. He tries to get around the outside. He's blocked by Basley. Now he's got through the inside. I think Wheldon is through. He is. Wheldon through to second place. Basley has another go back at him. Good driving by Basley. But Wheldon holds his line, pushes him back. Aggressive driving from a 12-year-old. 3 times British champion. That's Daniel Wheldon, now up into second. Basley in third place. Number 18, that's Tom Sisley. He's in fourth spot. But out in front still, Nelson Rowe. That's the gap. Now Wheldon's got a lot of work to do. Now we're going to see the stuff that champions are made of. But Marcus Basley, to his credit, and Tom Sisley are holding on to Wheldon very well indeed. He's dragging them along with him. He's pulling those 3 nearer the man in front. That's Nelson Rowe. That's the gap, and Wheldon is closing round Billy's blind all the time. Wheldon in second place, Basley third, Sisley in fourth spot. But the man in the lead still, 11-year-old, number 24, Nelson Rowe. But Wheldon now up the inside, Wheldon leads. Perfect overtaking manoeuvre by the British champion. He now leads. Rowe's been relegated to second place. But Rowe having a go back at him, they almost touch. Going around the chicane. Wheldon leads, Rowe in second place. Basley and Anthony Davidson now contesting third. Again, the view from the camera, and that's 32, Louise Collin, who in fact crashed last year. In front of the camera is the young lady, broke her rib, back in action. Happy to see her. Still the battle rages at the front. This is a good drive by Rowe. He's really giving Wheldon a hard time. But our man, Jenson Button, still carving through the field. Remember, he started from the back row of the grid. He's still overtaking karts all the time. Tremendous view from the rear of Jenson Button's car, back at the front. Wheldon leading, Rowe in second place, and Rowe still giving him a tough time. They're on their last lap. So he's got half a lap to go. Can Nelson Rowe get past Wheldon? Basley now up into third place. Down towards Billy's blind for the last time. Wheldon and Rowe really contesting the lead. The checkered flag being made ready. The checkered flag ready, and I think it's going to be Wheldon that takes it. Daniel Wheldon wins. In second place, Nelson Rowe, and in third place, Marcus Basley. So, a championship performance by a champion. A win there, his second of the meeting for number 1, the British champion, Daniel Wheldon.
3 rounds gone in the cadets, and our overall leader is Marcus Basley from Devizes. He has 60 points. Tom Sisley has 58, but they've had 3 races. Daniel Wheldon's had 1 race less and won them both. Super driving by the 12-year-old from Buckinghamshire.
Daniel, you've had a brilliant start to the series because you've had 2 races and 2 wins. What's the secret? What's going right?
Well, really, practice. Yesterday we weren't that quick. Can't say what we've done, but we've just done something.
You made a bit of an adjustment, have you?
Yeah.
Is it the engine or the chassis that you've adjusted?
It's both.
Round round 4 of the cadets. They're on their warm-up lap, 5.5 laps of this 900-yard clay pigeon circuit. Of course, the cadets open for 8 to 12-year-olds, 60cc non-gearbox carts. They're now lining up, the grid looking good. I think they're going to let them go as they come round that long right-hander at the far end of the circuit. The starter will look at them. If he's happy, he'll give them the OK, and round 4 will be underway. On the front row of the grid, number 10, Gary Parfitt, and number 4, Kevin Hall. And they get the OK. We have the camera on Jenson Button, that's number 2. Behind him, number 36, is Paul Rivett. So the camera straight away picking up the action. But leading is Kevin Hall. I think that's Jenson Button now in second place with the camera card. It certainly is. Paul Rivett going well. Cassian Battistini also going well. Up towards the hairpin on this first lap. 4 is Kevin Hall leading. Button behind him. Button trying to get through. Rivett in third place. And I think Button is in the lead. He is. He's got alongside Hall. Button now leads round the left-hander, up towards the long right-hander. The camera shows man behind in second place. That's Kevin Hall. So Jenson Button now leads. Hall in second place. So half a lap gone. Jenson Button leads. Hall in second place. Hall trying to get back at him as they go over the start line down towards Billy's blind. Button blocks him. Number 2 is Button. Number 4 is Hall. Behind them we have Paul Rivett, Cassian Battistini, Gary Catt also going well. And we have a spin. That is number 34, Barry Wilkin, back in the race very quickly. But it's still Button leading. Oh, and Button's got off and he's taken Hall with him. Button has spun off. The camera's still running. And he's back in the race. But Jenson Button spins off. Kevin Hall goes with him. And now Rivett leads. And he's building up a fair old gap. But what a race for second place. 5 cars battling it out for second. The far end of the circuit. Still leading the way is Battistini. 22 is Nicky Richardson. Wheldon coming back into it. That's number 1. Wheldon, the British champion. And up into second place now comes Peter Clark, a local lad. In second, third place, Daniel Wheldon, the British champion. So Clark now second, Wheldon in third place, and Rivett, number 36, still leading comfortably. What a race for second. And up into Peter Clark again, holds off Daniel Wheldon. I thought Wheldon had got through. They're side by side as they come into the left-hander. But Clark holds the advantage. But Wheldon now surely has got the inside line. Wheldon, I think, up into second place. Yes, he is. Wheldon now second. Clark in third place. Tremendous race for second place. Wheldon, the current British champion. Peter Clark, clay pigeon champion from Eastleigh in Hampshire. And behind him, Battistini, Gumley and Richardson still fight it out. But Wheldon now second, Clark in third place, and Rivett still leads. They're into their last lap. This is the battle for second between Wheldon and Clark. Wheldon looks behind him. Clark couldn't be closer. Both of these have got a wealth of karting experience, even at their tender ages. The left-hand hairpin. Rivett, a comfortable lead, surely now thinking of the checkered flag, but who's going to take second place? Really is anybody's race between Wheldon and Clark. This is Rivett, number 36. Over the start line. And once again, as they go down towards Billy's blind, it's Wheldon and Clark. Rivett now prepares to take the checkered flag as he goes through the S's for the last time. Rivett wins the race, but who's going to be second? Clark getting alongside Wheldon, and Clark in fact just takes second place on the line. So Peter Clark in second place, Daniel Wheldon third, but a win for the 11-year-old from Banstead in Surrey. That's Paul Rivett.
Daniel Wheldon in third spot then, but he still collects enough points to give him the overall lead after 4 rounds. Anthony Davidson from Hemel Hempstead is 9 points behind, with Marcus Basley third. But Jenson Button, our defending champion, is having a rough ride. He was disqualified from that race for dangerous driving.
Well, that is bloody awful. I'm not arguing the procedure. If you want to appeal, you appeal. He is excluded.
And Jenson ends up in tears.
Yeah, the clerk of the course said Jenson deliberately took someone off the top corner, which is absolute rubbish, because one of the parents came up, said Jenson locked up, went sideways off and into the other driver. There's nothing to do with it. It's just a racing incident. The clerk of the course, in his wisdom, has decided to exclude him from that heat.
But Jenson won an appeal and was reinstated to 13th.
Well, all's well that ends well. Now on to round 4 of the juniors, 7.5 laps. 11 to 16-year-olds.
last 4 years have done well to finish second.
7.5 laps of the Clay Pigeon Raceway, the final of the cadet class. Number 2, Jenson Button, all sorts of problem for him in the heat, excluded, then reinstated, but he's down in 14th place on the grid, but he is carrying our camera, and that's the view from the rear of his car. Number 24 behind him on the grid, that's Nelson Rowe. Goods worth £350 for the winner of this event. And number 1, the favourite, Daniel Wheldon, the current British champion and in pole position. Behind him, number 21, that's Marcus Basley, the 12-year-old from Devizes. Alongside him on the grid, 11-year-old from Hemel Hempstead, that's Anthony Davidson. And making up the second row, number 18, the 9-year-old Tom Sisley. So will the starter be happy with this grid lineup? Certainly, they seem in the right position. And the cadets final, the big race for these young lads. What an event for them in front of the television cameras, in front of this big crowd. The starter lets them go, and they're away then. 7.5 laps, the cadets final, and straight into the lead. It looks like Wheldon leads number 1. Davidson, I think, in second place, but certainly it's Wheldon in the lead. That's the view from Jenson Button's car, the rear view. That's Nelson Rowe and Jamie Ross McKenzie behind him. But Button with so much to do, starting on that 14th position, but Wheldon leads. In second place is Tom Sisley, number 18. And number 25, Jay Howard. Marcus Basley going well. We look for Davidson, not a good start by him. Wheldon then leads. Just where he wanted to be from pole position. Daniel Wheldon, the 1989 British champion. 10-year-old. But with a wealth of experience. In second place, Tom Sisley. And Davidson already making his way through the field. Look, number 6. He's battling for 4th place. Going to be contesting 3rd at any moment now, Anthony Davidson. He's had through some tremendous battles with Wheldon throughout this season, but always finishing second. Back with the camera, that's Button, and behind him is Rowe and Ross McKenzie still. At the front, it's Wheldon and Sisley. Davidson now up into 3rd place, but getting in there before Howard and Basley. Wheldon leads. In second place, we still have Sisley. Davidson looking threatening in 3rd spot. As we've heard from more experienced karters, it's not easy sometimes to be at the front the whole time, and it's sometimes easy for the man in second place to pull back the advantage. And certainly Sisley still going well in second place, but Wheldon looks like he's in command at the front. Sisley looks behind him, and behind him is Davidson, Howard and Basley. Up through the S's, over the start line, up towards the hairpin. Wheldon number 1. 18 is Sisley, 6 is Davidson, 25 is Howard, 21 is Basley. Wheldon number 1. 60cc car, it's a top speed of about 65 miles an hour for these youngsters. Around that long right-hander at the far end of the circuit, now onto the fastest part. And now Sisley coming under pressure from Davidson. That's the battle for second place. That's Davidson, number 6. Sisley, number 18, in front of him. Anthony Davidson, 11 years old from Hemel Hempstead. Sisley, just 9 years old. So quite an age difference. Wheldon still leads. Sisley in second place. Davidson right behind him. 25 is Jay Howard. 21 is Basley. That's Davidson and Sisley. 18 and 6. Sisley looks behind him. Davidson now has got through. No, he hasn't. Sisley still holds him off. Any moment now, surely Davidson's going to make his move. And they're pulling nearer and nearer Wheldon at the front. But Sisley's doing well. He won't let Davidson through. Davidson now up the inside. He's got through surely this time. Davidson up into second place. No, he's not. Sisley's holding his line. Who's it going to be? The Billy's blinded. Davidson. Davidson now second. Sisley third. Howard fourth and Basley fifth. What a race for second place. But Anthony Davidson now up into second place. Will he start to pull back on Wheldon at the front? Sisley's third. Howard fourth. Basley fifth. 5 carts battling it out for, well, 6 carts now really battling it out for the lead. Wheldon still leads. Davidson now pulled up right behind him. Great rivals, these two. That's Wheldon and Davidson. They've had some great battles this season. Usually Wheldon's beaten him, but there wouldn't be a better time for Davidson to beat Wheldon. He's got alongside. I think Davidson's going to get the lead as they go over the start line. Side by side into Billy's line. He's got the inside advantage. Anthony Davidson leads. Daniel Wheldon relegated to second place. In third place, Sisley. Fourth place, Howard. Fifth place, Basley. Wheldon won't like this. They go into the hairpin. Wheldon trying to get back the advantage. But Davidson having nothing of it. And he's urging his cart on with his head, Anthony Davidson. Daniel Wheldon, though, gets up the inside. In a good position now. He's well positioned as they come into the right-hander. Long right-hander over the start line. Surely now Daniel Wheldon's going to make his presence felt. And Sisley, Tom Sisley, also making it a threesome at the front. Wheldon makes his move over the start and he's gone up the inside of Davidson. He's retaken the lead into Billy's blind. Wheldon leads again. Davidson in second place. In third place is Sisley. They're on to their last lap. What a last lap this promises to be. 3 men can win this race. Wheldon leads. In second place, Davidson. Third place, Sisley. Fourth place, Howard. Fifth place, Basley. Tremendous Cadets final. What a display by these youngsters. Surely stars of the future. Wheldon still leading. Davidson trying all he knows to get past him. Sisley and Howard still looking dangerous. 4 of these carts could win this race. That's Basley, sorry, in fourth place. Wheldon leading. Davidson second. In third place, Sisley. Fourth place, Basley. Wheldon holding the advantage now. Davidson's got to make his move if he's going to win this one. Wheldon surely now going to hang on. The checkered flag being readied. Daniel Wheldon's going to win it. Daniel Wheldon takes the checkered flag. In second place, we have Anthony Davidson. And in third place, Tom Sisley. What a Cadets final. And what a victory for number 1, Daniel Wheldon.
Daniel Wheldon, the 12-year-old from Buckinghamshire, is our Cadets champion on karting. And what a great tussle with Anthony Davidson from Hemel Hempstead. Jenson Button, by the way, was 9th. Well, Daniel and Anthony, well done. Terrific race. Did you enjoy it?
Yeah, good.
It was a bit close. I thought he was good. Well, he took the lead off you, and I didn't know if you were going to get the lead back.
No, I richened it a touch too much, which means they'll catch me up and it will take my rev to way down straight.
Yeah. Anthony, when you took the lead, did you think you'd done enough to win the race?
Yeah, but he just got me back.
He's quite good, isn't he, this guy?
Yeah.
But in fact, I'll tell you something. Before the race, I said to him, who did he think he had most to fear from? And he said you. So obviously, he thinks you're quite a good driver.
I've had lots of seconds against him and I've beaten him 4 times,
But it was a good race today, wasn't it? Did you enjoy it?
yeah, I enjoyed it.
Do you think
I always enjoy it.
Yeah, it was a nice race, fair and square, wasn't it? I mean,
Yeah.
he was just good enough. But the two of you are obviously enjoying good relationship, aren't you?
Yeah.
And you enjoyed it? Well done. Let's see a little handshake. Well done, lads. Thanks for joining us. Congratulations. Anthony and Daniel collected their trophies from former world sports car champion Derek Bell. And who knows, they could be racing stars of the future.